you know that life today can be very difficult, but can you imagine how much harder it would have been in the medieval era? In her book, Good Masters, Sweet Ladies, Voices from a Medieval Village, Laura Amy Schlitz craftily designed a collection of monologues that portray what daily life might have been like. The monologues are both educational and witty. She also interspersed them with useful background information about the era. She wrote her stories as monologues because they were originally designed to be performed as a play. Each of the students wanted a leading role, so Amy wrote a long part for each student. There are 22 monologues in the book. Among the characters are Hugo, the Lord's nephew, Thomas, the doctor's son, Pask, the runaway, Otho, the miller's son, and my favorite, Giles, the beggar. As we meet each character, we learn new information about the time period. Hugo tells us that he runs to hide from his grammar teacher. Who could blame him? Grammar isn't much fun. While hiding, he discovers a boar in the woods. He and his uncle hunt the boar, and Hugo teaches us all about common hunting and eating practices. Thomas, the doctor's son, explains what it's like to be a doctor in the era and teaches us some common healing practices, such as egg whites are very good for cuts and scrapes. Pask, the runaway, teaches us how someone could escape servitude during the era. He explains that if you remained in hiding for a year and a day, that by English law, you were free. While in hiding, Pask is aided by a young lady who was going to feed porridge to her dogs, but instead gives it to Pask. Otho, the miller's son, helps us understand social organization of the classes. He also explains some mean tricks that millers use to cheat peasants out of their grain that they use for baking bread. I'm not going to share any of those tricks with you. You'll have to read the book. Finally, the book closes with my favorite character, Giles the beggar. Giles tells a hilarious tale about taking advantage of people who believed in miracles. He and his father cook up a scheme where his father claims to sell holy water guaranteed to cure any ailment. Meanwhile, his son pretends to be a random sick person half dead in the street. With this special ointment, he will be instantly cured. From Giles, the reader learns about commonly held religious beliefs and ways that people exploited those beliefs. I think this is a really good book. You could use it in conjunction with study of the medieval era. You could use it in conjunction with study of the bubonic plague. It could be used in a language arts classroom, or it could be used in a science classroom if you wanted to focus on the medical poem. It could be used in a history class or an art class. It's awesome. You can study, the blowing of the glass. You can study, like I already said, the doctors and the medicine. You can study the clothing that they wore. It's really awesome. I highly recommend this book, and I think that it will become part of my own library because this is a library copy. I'm definitely going to be buying this one. I also really like that it's written in monologues, which are almost entirely poetic. There's only a few that don't rhyme or have some kind of poetic device to them. So you could also use it with a unit of poetry study. So highly, highly recommend this book. ISBN number 978-07636-1578-9. And again, it is Good Masters, Sweet Ladies, Voices from a Medieval Village by Laura Amy Schlitz.